You're listening to the audio production of The Bottom of the Pool, Thinking Beyond Your Boundaries to Achieve Extraordinary Results, by Andy Andrews, published by Thomas Nelson, and read by the author.
Dedicated to those of you who are a part of my life's shield wall. You are the most valuable of friends, holding me up when I was unable to stand. And during the time I couldn't move at all, you stepped forward and surrounded me. Chapter 1. The Game. When I was a kid, my parents would drop me off at the pool during the summer. This must have been an excellent childcare method because most of my friends' parents did the same thing. Day after day, all summer long, we never seemed to tire of being at the pool. Though we were almost always in the pool, for some reason that's how we referred to being there. Where were you yesterday? At the pool. We played Marco Polo, horse and rider, water football, atomic whirlpool, watermelon push, and blue rover, which was just like red rover except that it was in the water. Back then, of course, all swimming pools were treated with vast amounts of chlorine. By the middle of July, if a blonde kid didn't have a lime green tint to his hair, it was obvious to everyone he hadn't spent much time at the pool. Another thing that would happen about the middle of July, we would become somewhat bored with much of what we had been doing and began to invent our own games. One year, we created a contest we called Dolphin. At the time, everyone loved the television show Flipper, which was about a dolphin who was involved in one adventure after another. Think Lassie in a wetsuit. The human stars of the show were Bud and Sandy, the sons of a park ranger in Coral Key National Park. There was no one our age who didn't watch the show, and all of us were amazed at how Flipper could lift straight up out of the water and walk on his tail. So that was our game. We'd all form a big circle in the deep end of the pool, everyone treading water. One at a time, we would take turns being the dolphin. Each person in turn swam to the center of the circle. The object of the game was to use your arms, legs, hands, and feet to lift your torso out of the water as high as you could. No one ever got as much air as Aaron Perry. He was older than most of us by a year and almost a head taller. Believe me when I say that it was tough to compete against his big feet and his hands. Oh my gosh, his hands! No child has ever had hands that big. I'm telling you, the kid could palm a basketball in the 3rd grade. Aaron's physical structure was a decided advantage in the pool. When Aaron flapped his massive feet and waved those catcher's mitts he called hands to push against the water, the kid would rise above the pool's surface like Flipper himself, or at least like Flipper's human cousin. It was the summer after our 4th grade year, and most of us were 11 years old. Aaron, obviously, was 12. He told us quite often that he was better than we were at everything. Unfortunately, we were convinced he was right. It was depressing. At Dolphin, particularly, Aaron was the best. He always won, always. His winning streak, which of course began with the invention of the game, was unprecedented. Undefeated, untied, unrivaled, and in a water-treading circle of 4th going on 5th graders, unapproachable. He was unapologetically unbelievable, and he knew it. Aaron was the king of Dolphin. Until the day Kevin Perkins beat him by 1.5 feet. I remember that afternoon like it was yesterday. There were about 10 of us in the deep end. We were in a loose circle, each of us taking our turn and watching closely as everyone else took theirs. We were not only competitors, we rotated our responsibility as judges. All of us had equal say, but despite trying to be fair, disagreements were routine. That day, I'd already taken my turn. So too had Aaron and everyone else except for Kevin Perkins, my best friend. As Kevin swam to the center of the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?